Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. We've got Barra on Fun Police, a red-white prison deck that he's put a lot of hours into, versus Tyler on Bant Spirits, who possibly will not care about a lot of these lock pieces. Chalice of the Void, Blood Moon. We'll see how that actually stacks up here against this kind of modern port over to Legacy. Barra Ancient Tomb taking 2 and putting out a Magus of the Moon, usually a backbreaking card, but we'll see here. Tyler does have a basic island already in play, and Supreme Phantom, I believe it is, giving +1/+1 to like Mausoleum Wanderer or something like that. Let's see if I can pull up the name of that card. It is Mausoleum Wanderer. So, yikes. This is getting out of hand fast. Well, Stoneforge Mystic could turn this around. Some interesting options here. Batterskull, Umezawa's Jite, Sword of Fire and Ice potentially. And there we go, Sword of Fire and Ice now for Barra. Interesting that all of these guys are going to have flying. So usually Batterskull, excellent versus kind of ports and brews and, you know, kind of less known deck types. Batterskull is a real test against those. And here we just see more damage coming through from Bant Spirits. Stoneforge putting in Sword of Fire and Ice, swinging, and getting some crowd control going here, taking out the Mausoleum Wanderer. But no, we got a Rattle Chains getting flashed in, and that is actually going to give hexproof, denying the card draw here off of Sword of Fire and Ice as well. So that is pretty devastating. Sword of Fire and Ice has a single target, so that'll actually counter the ability, stopping Barra from getting the card and keeping the pressure on board here. So what a huge swing. Absolutely massive. That Sword of Fire and Ice was poised to really create quite a bit of board control, and instead it looks like Barra may be very close to dead on board. Oh, and it looks like, I think the judge got that one wrong. Take a look. Might be remembering Sword of Fire and Ice incorrectly. And another Supreme Phantom. So this team is getting pumped. Mausoleum Wanderer getting pumped as well. Now down to 1 life. Can Barra get anything off of these next 2 draws? Tough to imagine what it would be. Humility plus Batterskull could have been a line if he's still even sleeving up Humility. That has been in the list before. Plays very well with Magus of the Moon. A variety of mana costs here. Possibly a Engineered Explosives, maybe? Taking out some 2 casting cost guys. Swinging in with Magus of the Moon. See what the damage goes to, and he actually just goes right to Tyler's face and packs it in. Perhaps Explosives not a possibility in his list. Boy, it looks like it's a single trigger. One Sword of Fire and Ice. Yeah, no, it's worked that way since the card came out. That is a single target on an ability. If there are no targets on an ability when it resolves, it is countered on resolution. So Barra actually got an extra card out of it there. but the Magic Gods handling it appropriately, still rewarding Tyler with the win. This was part of our ELD Legacy Open series. We actually have another one coming up July 13th, 2019. Up very soon. Barra leading out with Arid Mesa. Tyler able to fetch. This time Noble Hierarch. A tropical island. Not sure if that's actually going to help him against Blood Moon or not. The Hierarch is very vulnerable. A basic land's crucially important. Barra grabbing a basic mountain with a little bit of concern for Wasteland being shown. That's really the only reason he would get basic mountain, to my knowledge, would be to avoid Wasteland impacting his play. And Force of Will on Blood Moon. Tyler would rather cast his spells unimpeded, decides to spend a force on it. And there was a Wasteland. Stoneforge Mystic? It is Stoneforge Mystic, and this time for Sword of Fire and Ice. Tyler saw the line last time from the other side of the table, and he's saying, let me show you how it's actually done. Stoneforge Mystic for Barra, and we are going to find out what the better Stoneforge deck is in this situation. Umezawa's Jite, a real threat. Barra has a soul land. Could get very, very messy. Now, Jite will essentially counter any type of equip Tyler's side of the table. Oh, but no soul land to go along with it. Does he have a Simian Spirit Guide or a Chrome Mox? Getting down Jite and equipping would be so strong right now. And he does. He's got the Chrome Mox. Stoneforge Mystic being exiled, shipping over that Jite, and we're going to get 2 counters on here. And now he's going to be able to use these counters to prevent the equipment from landing. Sword of Fire and Ice. Tyler now going to need another mana. Oh, and he has it. Oh, no. So Tyler going to be able to force this Jite out of counters. Potentially. We've got a lot of actual possibilities now. So on the one hand, if he didn't have the mana, removing these counters could kill the target of the equip ability. As it stands, it will be able to keep the Stoneforge Mystic alive. He's targeting the Stoneforge and not the Noble Hierarch. Hierarch down. Floating mana. The sword is being picked up. And swinging commences. 2 damage, targeting Stoneforge Mystic. +2/+2 to keep it alive. Now Blood Moon coming down. Bant only going to be shut off from green mana. Has a basic plains and a basic island. This May not prove to be too much of a hindrance. Three damage coming in. And choosing to essentially just trade the 2 damage. The other side, Supreme Phantom. Those counters can be used to pump up the Stoneforge or give -1/-1 on the other side. Also can allow for some life gain. And here we see Batterskull. Now Batterskull picking up the Umezawa's Jite. Oh, and in response, Swords to Plowshares. That is a huge tempo loss. Oh, and the Stoneforge Mystic is vulnerable right now, too, to the Sword of Fire and Ice. What a huge shift in the game that was. Sword of Fire and Ice handed up to the Supreme Phantom, swinging in the air, taking out the Stoneforge. Man, that is rough. And just for good measure, ponder for Tyler trying to plan out the next couple of turns. Although the script may just write itself from here. With the Stoneforge in play, picking up Batterskull and putting it back down, really not that bad. Without it, so much more mana. A Stoneforge from Bara, that gets Force of Willed. That Stoneforge would have really helped smooth things out here. So it does look like Batterskull is going to be able to get picked up and put back down. Of course, the other side of that is if you have a Stoneforge, you can always equip Batterskull to it just to get the extra damage as well. And then plussing with Umezawa's Jite gives you even more additional life gain. So a lot can go right when you actually have that Batterskull equipped to a creature. 5 mana for a Batterskull. Just casting it the old-fashioned way. And, ooh, is that a Spell Queller? Is that going to be enough? Spell Queller not actually countering the Batterskull. Too high of a mana cost. -1 counter to give 2 life. And I don't know if Tyler actually saw that one on board. Bara stabilized here at 2. Looks like 8 damage from here. From 10 down to 8. After that life gain. And a Chalice at 1 provides no protection to that germ. And that is likely to do it right there. Bara extending the hand and Bant Spirits taking it down in 2.